Anyone else think that two teams coming out of the bye week would have a bit slower paced of a game to start it off? Because I did, and I was very wrong. Hey everyone, it is Ben back again, and the Habs win! What are you still doing here? You were supposed to be gone!
Yes! Yes! Yeah!
Because if not, they're gonna get blown away.
The cannon. It just kept firing.
I am excited. Hello everybody, it is Ben back again, and the Habs lose 4-3 in a shootout to the Boston Bruins, of all teams. But I'm weirdly okay with that. But we'll get to that. If you notice on the thumbnail, I kind of got a little spurt of inspiration from that little rant that Steve went on about thumbnails in the last two Steve Dangle podcasts ago, and I was like, I'm gonna do it too. And it's not really that much different, but I think it looks kind of nicer, so hopefully you guys like it too. I have a lot of feelings in this game, but let's just start from the beginning. First period, like I said, I was expecting it to be kind of slow. Both teams coming off the bye week. I didn't think they'd be really all that into it yet, but I was very wrong. Out of the gate, both teams flying back and forth, chances on both ends. And then early on, Patch. 3 goals, the last 3 games, goal in each game, including this one. And just buries home a rebound that it's like the very most un-Pacioretty goal I've seen in a long while. But the play gets started by Victor Mete seeing an open lane as he has the puck by the blue line, getting the shot on. Pacioretty gets the rebound. Goal by Pacioretty, but assist by Mete, and play largely set up by Mete. So good start for him coming back from the World Juniors. But then, with about 2.5 minutes left in the first period, Marchand gets a goal late on the power play after Jordy Ben just decides to go real hard on Bergeron up the sideboards, leaving Petrie to come slide over this way, leaving nobody covering here. So Byron's kind of rushing to get back to cover there, but the pass gets over to Marchand. Marchand puts it home to tie it up before the end of the first period. So the Habs go into the first intermission tied 1-1 against the Bruins, who are one of the hotter teams in the NHL right now. So I'm like, okay, hey, cool, good job, good on you, I guess. Then we start into the second period, and very early on, they just horrible line change on the Habs part, leaving Jake DeBrusk just wide open alone. I don't remember who passed it to him. Somebody gets it up to him wide open. Goes in alone on Price and scores, of course, to put the Bruins up 2-1 early in the second. But then after that, the Habs just don't let up for most of the rest of the period. And 5:45 in, Delorier picks up an errant Bruins pass and goes in and just friggin' snipes it past Rask in a way I did not think he knew how to do. And then his cellies are just the best. Like, him celebrating is just fantastic. That's why it's so worth it every time he scores. And this time I love it whenever he scores, just for the celebrations. And he's overachieving by all means this season, so hey, why not? If somebody's going to score, why can't it be Delorier? That's great. Then a few minutes later, Chucky gets his 100th career goal, just saying to Claude, please just love me. Beautiful shot on the power play again from his spot. This time was a wrister, not a one-timer, but beautiful shot. Gets the goal to put the Habs up 2-1 with nice feed from Drouin on the play. Then with about 2:20-ish left in the second period, David Krejci gets a rather fortuitous rebound off of Price, who then puts it home to tie the game up. Right before the end of the period at 2-2. But then, also, with about 1:37 left, Philip Deneau takes a Zdeno Chara shot to the head, which is basically at the top of the list of things I hope I never have to experience, because that just sounds horrible. Very scary scene. Lays unmoving on the ice for a while and then ends up having to get stretchered off, but he sort of seemed to respond to the crowd. And also, as much as I've said bad things about him in the past and complained about him in the past, because I'm a dumb Habs fan and I do that a lot, Zdeno Chara, pure class, stand on the ice and making sure Philip Deneau is okay. After all the other Bruins had left, the only people who were still on the ice were Habs players. Zdeno waited until the very end. Waited right up until Deneau got stretchered off of the ice and said a few words to him as he left. So great moves by him. Nothing but respect for him for this game. Until next game, where I'm gonna hate you, because that's what I have to do, I guess, because that's how this sport works. Hockey's silly sometimes. Then after that injury happens, as all the commotion's sort of happening, they end up deciding to just let the intermission happen a minute 37 early. They just tack it on to third period, well, sort of third period, where they play a minute 37 to finish off the second period, where you could see the life had kind of gotten sucked out of the Habs a bit there, that little minute 37, they were not looking hot. Then they switch ends, and they sort of start to get it back a little bit, and we get into the real third period, and it's just a period of trading chances at both ends, and it's another goalie duel like the game against Tampa last weekend. The goalies just steal the show for the rest of the game. With Danault out now, they had Galchenyuk, Drouin, Hudon as the line, and they were looking strong to start the period and trading chances more. Mete continued to look strong the rest of that period too. Looked really confident with the puck, wasn't shying away from plays. About 13:30 left in the period, we get a 4-on-4 chance. I'm like, why is Jordy Ben out there on 4-on-4? But at least, thank God, there's no Drouin Pacioretty, because I think Closer is finally figuring out that doesn't really work. Then at one point in the 4-on-4, we get Drouin, Galchenyuk, Mete, Schlemko. It's like so close to being perfect. If you could just replace Schlemko with Yerbek, the just pure puck moving and offense, and that would be fun to watch. But anyway, we get through the 4-on-4, not too many chances, and whatever. I just caught notice of a couple of those little things. But both goalies had to be strong to finish off the third. Both teams had a bunch of chances to end the third, but we ended up being tied 3-3 through 3 periods, and we head to OT. And before OT, I actually tweeted what I wouldn't give to see Galchenyuk, Drouin, Mete trio in 3-on-3 OT, and we did eventually end up seeing that. What a bonkers OT as well, just back and forth chances, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. We did get to see Galchenyuk, Drouin, Mete a few times. A couple big defensive plays by a couple of players. I remember Yerbek stopped Marchand at one point on coming back, and just a nuts overtime. And then there was that chance when it was the Plekanec, Byron Petrie, I think, and there was just a mess in front of the Bruins net, and Torrey Krug somehow dived in and it didn't go in, and it was just a great overtime, great bit of hockey. And as soon as that ended, I was like, okay, cool. I'm fine. I'm honestly fine with whatever happens here, because you guys might hate me, but I'm kind of on board with the tank, because realistically, I understand that even if this team somehow claws their way back into a playoff spot, which is looking more or less impossible at this point, this is not the team that's going to win a Stanley Cup. And there's a lot of stuff that has to be done to this team before they win a Stanley Cup. So give me a few fun games to watch. This game was fun to watch, but I really don't want them thinking anything more of themselves than what they are. We go into the shootout. First shooter for the Habs, Paul Byron, who seems to be the Habs shootout specialist now, because literally it looked exactly the same as the shot against Vasilevsky in the Tampa game. Just comes in, snipes it, top shelf, look at him go. I mean, Byron looked really good in that shootout attempt. And then DeBrusk snipes it as well. Drouin stopped. Gary with a nice poke check on Pasternak, one of the Bruins players. Pacioretty stopped. McAvoy stopped. Chucky stopped. And then, of course, it just had to be fucking Brad Marchand to finish it off, didn't it? I mean, it would have been nicer if it could have been somebody else finishing this game off other than goddamn Brad Marchand. Anyway, final thoughts. I did actually really enjoy this game. It was a fun game. Aside from just the horrid, scariness that was the Philip Deneau situation, that was terrible, of course. But everything around that was great. It was everything I love out of Habs Bruins hockey, just back and forth chances, getting a little chippy under everybody's skin, and just a great game. And the Habs ended up losing. And like I said, I'm on the tank train here, and even though they got a point, I'm okay with this. I was fully okay with how that game played out. Now, after that, we have New York Islanders tomorrow. It's probably going to be tonight by the time people are actually watching this, because you're probably going to be watching this on the Monday of the New York Islanders game. Islanders tonight. Bruins again on Wednesday. Washington in Washington Friday, and then coming back to Montreal on Saturday to play the Bruins again. That's quite a week, and realistically, to have any kind of serious possibility they're going to claw their way back into playoff contention, got to get at least 3 of those next 4 games to be able to say anything. And I not see that happening. As long as they get next Saturday's game against Boston, because I'm going into that with my mom, and I'm really hoping for a win there, because I haven't been to a Habs Bruins game in a while. But on to final thoughts about just this one game. Story of the night had to be Victor Mete coming back from the World Juniors and looking absolutely flawless. And if they plan on using him like this for the rest of the season, I have no problem with them keeping him up and wasting the first year on his entry level, because he'll actually get some development if he's used like this. Because he had 17:35 time on ice, which is much better than what he was getting before he got that time off to go play the World Juniors, and he looked confident. He was not shy at all about jumping up into the play and making passes and doing things offensively, while still being extremely solid defensively as well. He has just got the best stick for poke checking I've ever seen in forever out of a defenseman, because he has to make up for it because of his size, but still, he's fantastic. I would love to see him once Weber comes back. I would love to see Mete being used a bit more than some of the other players on this team. I'm frustrated because, he's so much better than Carl Alsner, but, he's still going to get half the ice time overall. I digress. And again, Galchenyuk and Drouin looking like they're having a little more added chemistry building up there, more so than Pacioretty and Drouin ever did anyway. But they're still just make the one freaking move. There's nothing left to lose in the season. Just Chucky to center. Just do it. Just do it. Finally, the news came out this morning that it seems as though Dino is okay. I don't know if he'll be playing tomorrow night, but he's out of the hospital, and he doesn't seem to be anything serious. So that's great. But you wonder if Dino is not in today's game. Is this Chucky's chance to finally get put in fucking center? Maybe. But until then, we'll have to wait and see. And until next time, I will see you guys later.